Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do begin, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Deku, Marcy, and Chloe, they've gotten back to their vaults. And this, it comes with a lot of consequences. So far, 5 months have passed. Deku, he is in therapy. Not only does he see the therapist in solo sessions, he's been participating in sessions with a group of other vault dwellers who have either been experimented on or have been unfrozen because the Enclave had them in cryo. Now, they're starting to deal with some things. Some of the people are still uncomfortable with the fact that everyone they knew is either dead or old. Others are still highly alarmed by the amount of time that has passed. And while they are coping with this, it isn't easy. The therapist is well aware of Deku's current routine. Deku will go to the machine shop. He'll deal with a few things there. He'll be inside his vault room for lunch and breakfast, along with dinner. He will spend time with Chloe, and while he will limit his exposure to other residents of the vault, people have seen him in the gym for up to 4 to 6 hours a day. And the only other human interaction he will have is either talking with his sister or his therapist, or with the overseers when they do call to ask him questions, and he does have to go to their office. Fact is, he's not okay. And the therapist, she was trying to evaluate him, along with many others. He was given permission to go back up to the surface. The overseer, along with a number of surface personnel, people working on base, they went to go turn on one of the Geks they had. And Nizuku introduced them to feral ghouls, including murdering a glowing one with his bare hand. Now, that does mean quite a bit. For the first time in decades, hundreds of years, it rained in Vegas again. And many of the other factions became aware of the Gex activation. Mr. House already had Securitron stationed over on the base, and was aware it was going to happen. But when those rain clouds came drifting their way over Vegas, every major faction in the area became aware of it. From the Khans to the Legion to even the Brotherhood, who, ever since the Enclave's destruction, have been watching this place very closely. Now, with that being said, let me begin. Let's currently pick up with Deku. He does find himself sitting in the therapy room with the doctor, and she is going over quite a lot of notes from things she got from the overseer, along with many of the people who were part of the team that were there. They all have given her statements about his behavior during the mission. It was just a step outside for about an hour. And what she heard about was the behavior on the motorcycle, along with the fact that he was well aware he was leading them into danger. But with navigating a place full of radiation the way he did, they can't deny it was a good tactic. Getting in between the buildings, going into a reactive city, dealing with these creatures that he knows people in their vault have never faced off against, including as the paperwork does say, person glowing like a lighthouse and can emit a burst of radiation like an EMP grenade or a plasma grenade. Yeah. She's not sure what to say. his casual murder of this creature. And she does go look up. Right now, watching Deku going to somewhat tense his shoulders and with his foot jumping in place. And he does a turn, sniffing the air. Mr. Midoriya? Yes, Miss Sutton. Sorry. I'm a little distracted lately. I've been noticing this. No, never mind. That's not important right now. What? Your behavior yesterday. Is there something wrong with it? How would you describe the expedition yesterday, in your own words? How did it make you feel? To go back outside? It felt good. In fact, I have a meeting with the overseer later today. I may have to miss our scheduled group therapy. I see. Well, I am aware that Aiden, he is quite happy that you are there. He is the other person affected by Deathclaw genetics. I'm well aware of that. I've been trying to help him deal with many things I've had to deal with in the early days. As for the others, I'm fairly certain it's similar. As for Miss Pickett, she's an odd one, even to me. I've made it quite clear that she shouldn't look inside our heads. And she has done with that information what she will. But I don't believe she's taken it under proper advisement after what happened yesterday. I see, Mr. Midoriya. Well, I would normally disagree with you. Miss Pickett does have a bit of a streak during our sessions. I don't think she's very happy about them. I'm sure she isn't. Sometimes I'm not happy to come here either. I am very much in control of my temper. It can get away from me sometimes, I will admit that. But what has happened to us relies on emotions. Staying in control. You wouldn't want to see what happens whenever we have a panic attack. I have seen some footage, Mr. Midoriya. I am well aware what happens. I've seen it too. What I mean is a very bad one. Not a mild one. Her going to look down and write that down. Since what Deku just described as the body trying to grow and constrict itself under its own pressure is mild. Mr. Midoriya, if I were to say that you can go up to the surface again, what would you say? I would say I would like that. The wasteland is not a very good and forgiving place. With our discussions yesterday, we know people. And I do believe that, as I did say earlier, I have a meeting with the overseers to discuss some matters on the surface. There is the matter of our deals with the Van Graffs. Deku leaning forwards, bringing up his thumb in hand. We have to talk to them and figure out things there. We do have to figure out what's going on with Caesar's Legion because they are inevitably going to try and get involved with us. The man was very interested in the Enclave's research, and I'm fairly certain that that research is either going to be destroyed or buried deep in our vault files. That is correct. I'm aware of some of this research, as much to the extent that I have been. Now, as for your relationships, what about them? Well, Chloe Mendez. She was an expedition partner, correct? She was. And Marcy Winters. You care deeply for these two. Mr. Midoriya? Yes. Sorry, my mind wandered off on me. Those two are important to me. They've helped to keep me grounded during our expedition. And I believe I kept them grounded as well. I knew they relied on me, so I tried to put more pressure on myself. And I do believe that that is what helped push me into a leadership position. Yes, Mr. Midoriya. Now, I am glad to hear about this. You have a support structure. However, I've asked Miss Winters about the Sierra Madre incident. Deku going to stand as he's about to open his mouth. However, she does go to raise her hands and go to close her notebook, expressing, setting it aside, and going to lean back, folding her hands. Miss Winters has told her much about what happened at the casino, about what happened inside the city. And she has opened up about many other things. She's allowing him to know this because he was involved, and he does have unprocessed trauma from the event as well. She also does believe that Miss Mendez is suffering the same thing, but she is repressing her trauma, whereas it is more active and with them. They carry it, but that does not mean it is not a heavy burden to carry. What happened there is not something I wish to repeat, nor do I wish for people to know about. Mr. Midoriya, your act of intimidation is not going to work on me. What happened at the casino is simply something I do not wish people to know. Is it now? Tell me, Mr. Midoriya, exactly what happened there that has affected you so heavily. I do have the authorization to seal the record and to leave it as a blank file. However, that only means you don't give an official statement. The overseers have given you time that they believed you would need to process it. And from what my understanding of the events are, it is more gruesome than what you've alluded to. Marcy was nearly stuffed into a suit by these strange individuals. You claimed that they're immortal, and that no matter how much you attack them, even after nearly bisecting one, they would not stay dead. That is an unbelievable statement for you to say. You claim that they wail like banshees even after you cut off their limbs, but crushing their skull is the one way to kill them. Mr. Midoriya, what else exactly happened at the Sierra Madre, other than it being a death trap you wish to never see again? Completely off the record? Yes, Mr. Midoriya, completely off the record. If you do take this off the record, then I will also give you permission to skip the group session, as I can see this is affecting you more than I would have liked it to. Fine. Fine. You want to know so bad? The Sierra Madre was a death trap. We were put in collars. We were taught to fear radios. We were stuck there for longer than we'd like to admit. It was hard. At first, we could handle it. We thought it was easy, but Shortly after arriving, we started running out of food. We stopped using our abilities, our enhancements. Quickly, we began to realize that it was bad. We were given bomb collars, and with the degradation of radio signals in the area, they would be set off by them. The man who had us enslaved could have detonated them remotely. Or, if we got too close to a radio, it would have interfered and we'd go pop. We had to destroy them and run from the ones we couldn't. As for the creatures we've described, we had to run from them. Their weapons are... I don't even know how to begin. They're from some sort of pre-war line of kitchen utensils. They're called cosmic knives. Residents there fashioned weapons out of them. They could hurt us badly. It was a battle of attrition. We began to starve slowly, and we had to hunt. Find food in the buildings, eat rad roaches, eat the mole rats, eat the giant rats that were there, and eat the pre-war food. But as we started going through it, it was more scarce. We can get coins from the vending machine for the vending machines and get food that way. But even then, that began to be a harder option for us. I see, Mr. Midoriya. And how did you get out of the collars? A bit of a trick. When the man thought that we were unconscious when he hit us with some sort of agent, we played possum. I was able to find a mask and get a rebreather. Marcy, she was knocked unconscious, and Chloe, she does have a higher drug tolerance, similar to mine. Yes, your histories of substance abuse, that is correct. But even before that, when we were able to get back to the city, it was a maze. Trying to get through the fog it's deadly. There are places in the city that are completely... We ran out of food. And we were being hunted. We were desperate. And those things, they were calories. Her staring at Deku. And he does look her dead in the eyes, well aware of what he just said. And she does go to process those words. They were calories. Marcy described them as pre-war humans, possibly ghouls stuck in some strange containment suit. But that would mean Deku's seeing the exact moment it does get a click in her head. And he does get a stand, informing the doctor. That is why he does not wish to have it put in the record. They were able to survive till they found their way out. Afterwards, they've never talked about what happened there. If she asks Chloe about what happened there, she is going to have a panic attack. He's noticed she's blanked some of it. But he wants to protect her. Marcy got better. But she's a doctor. She knows how to process trauma, even if she doesn't like it. He has to live with it because he's the one who made that choice for them. They didn't have it. None of them did. He's gonna go work out. Him going to leave as the doctor, she is gonna finally put a hand over her mouth. And she does just try not to gag at the idea of it. She just learned about one of the things that they did in the Sierra Madre to survive. Marcy never mentioned it. Chloe, she's evasive on some of the things that have happened there. Yes, she's nudged her way towards the subject, but she avoids it entirely. She blames herself for them going to that region. Deku blames himself because they survived being in that region. And Marcy is just horrified at the things that happened there. She is going to need to... Yeah, she's going to have to end the session today. And Deku, he does leave. Him just going to head to the gym after he does head back home to change. And whenever he does get there, he does go to hit the bag. Right now, him just trying to get rid of aggression. Trying to keep it out of his mind. Keep everything out of his mind. They lived. That's all that mattered back then. And now they've saved their vault. It was a hard choice. A choice none of them wanted to make. But they had to make it. Surviving isn't easy. It's never easy. And right now, Deku, he does go to punch that bag until his knuckles, they do begin to start showing signs of damage. And after he's covered in sweat and that bag is nearly ready to start tearing, he does is going to glare at it. This gym's been specialized for all of them, all of the mutants. And right now, he does just want to punch something else, to rip something else apart. No. If he goes too far on someone, that's going to... God. He needs to get back to the surface. The thorn. That's where he needs to go. He needs to rip something apart of the thorn. He needs to taste its blood. He needs to deal with all of these pent-up emotions. Him nearly shaking in place as a strange scent is to waft through the air. Right now, him turning as someone they do to step into the room. Right now, them watching Deku in his training attire as Miss Stevens does to stop. Her staring at him as he's huffing and puffing. Right now, her asking if the big bad wolf is alright. Since he looks like he's ready to go 10 rounds with a sentry bot. I'm fine. You don't sound fine. You look pretty bad. You have a therapy session? I said I'm fine. I said I'm fine, Tracy. Right now, I don't want to deal with it. The doctor hit a tough spot. One I don't wish to mention to you. You wouldn't understand it. Please. I was frozen for a decade after 5 years of torture. What don't I understand? The type of shit that exists out there. You're right, I don't. Then again, her stepping forwards. And she does go to lay a hand onto his shirt and express. Maybe she does need someone to teach her all about it. perhaps take her for a ride? And Deku does just gonna stare at her for a second. He doesn't want to admit it, but his mind does wander before snapping back as he does gonna glare at her and tell her she really shouldn't be playing games if she isn't ready for consequences. Please. What consequences do you have? Her bring one of her hands up as Deku does go to grab her by her wrist. And she does grin at him as Deku does go to meet her blue-eyed gaze. And she does it a grin. Right now Deku watching it spread across her face. And he does tell her he's spoken for. Besides, she might get snatched up by the big bad wolf, and he wouldn't let her go. She would just be a little hare lost in the forest. Caught, Deku snapping his hand up to her throat and leaning forwards in the jaws of a predator. Right now, her going to glare right back at him. And Deku, he does go to smile. Right now, her going to try to bring her hands up to fight Deku's grip. But Deku does just go to glare at her. And she does go to still stare at him. Before he does let her go, and she does to watch him walk by. Right now, talking about it. She was wondering if he wanted to go a few rounds in the ring. Maybe even next time they can put on gloves. Cute. But like I said, I'm spoken for. It is a tempting offer. But what the fuck? Deku bring his hand to his head. There's that thing again. It's giving him a headache. It's messing with his judgment? Definitely. Definitely that, yeah. No, he's just gonna go. Him making his way back to his room and going to shower. The doctor already gave him authorization to skip the group session, but Deku feels like he really should be going. He already wanted to propose to the overseer about taking some of them up to the surface, along with it being a good moment for him to go see the Van Graffs, finalize their deal, and maybe even give them some weapons that they've either repaired from the Enclave or have built. It is a good option. It would help to cement trade for them in the area. It would begin helping them build not only a reputation, but line their pockets for cash. Their vault is going to need money for infrastructure. And any pre-war money that might have existed down here isn't going to trade hands the same way with currency up there. He's already well aware that someone's going to try and counter about manufacturing caps. But every story Deku's ever heard about that has never ended well. It always typically ends with, and then they died. Or, and then they blew up. Or, those caps aren't ever really accepted. Granted, they are a possible thing, but it's just never been a good idea. And right now, Deku, he does go to head to the overseer's office. On his way, however, he does see Mia. And she does a turn looking at her brother. Right now, he is making his way down the corridor. And she does stop him, asking why he's in such a hurry. I'm a little busy at the moment, Mia. Listen, I've gotta go talk to the overseer. Give him just. I need to talk to him about an expedition and a few other things. You're going to the surface? Can we go with you? No. Her stepping backwards as he doesn't bare his teeth. The people with her watching the loud exclamation as Deku does go to suck in a breath and let it out. No, Mia, you can't. It's too dangerous where we're going to be going. Along with that, you don't know the right path. We have to go down the 188, and that's the easiest route. It's the fastest route. Is it? But, okay, who would you even take? I would take some of the other mutants. Aren't you supposed to be in your therapy sessions? I'm supposed to be, but the doctor gave me authorization to skip today. We got a little heavy in my personal one. Do you want to talk about it? I'd rather not. Oh, okay. Well, these are some of my friends. And my boyfriend. Her going to turn. Deku seeing two guys and a girl. Her watching as the girl does it a wave nervously. One of the guys going to wave as well, but the third guy, he does just want to stare at Deku. Him a bit tense in what he's doing. And Deku does get a point out to him, asking if the blonde guy is the one she's dating. No, he's just a fan of yours. It's William. The one with the dark hair. Huh. Anyways, Chloe. No. There's that damn fog. Are you okay? I'm fine. I've just been getting these weird episodes. And I'm fine. I need to go see the overseer, like I said. Him turning and making his way down the hall. And she is still worried about him. He's been evading mom and dad. And while they have talked, she's worried. Right now, her trying to turn back to her friends as one of them does get to ask if he's alright. He seemed a little wound up. And she does confirm that he's going to go see the overseer about something important. Though he might just be beating himself up about something. Sure. Right now, Deku going to step in as he does go see the receptionist. And this time she has a glance up and actually see him. Her going to stand as Deku does go to talk about it. He was wondering if the overseer had time. Any of the overseers. In fact, if possible, would he be able to see Overseer McKinney? I'm not personally connected to his division. I'm only Barnett's assistant. Then send the message. I would like to take time to meet with all of them. I believe it would be considered an urgent matter. I see. I can send a message, but I believe Overseer McKinney is on the surface. He's going over a few things with a number of factors with, I don't know what they're all dealing with. That's not really my division. I'm sorry. You're fine. Just let them know I want to talk with them. Alright, I can just, if you'd have a seat, please. Him making his way over and sitting down. Right now, him having his foot jump in place a bit. The session for the dwellers is going to last an hour. And hopefully, it doesn't completely elapse. He wants to head back down there and talk to all of them. See how things can go. If things go well, he'll be able to take some of them out into the surface and at least expose them to the sun. Along with hopefully take them on an expedition. And he knows that proposal might be met with some resistance. But he does go to wait. After a few minutes, a man does come out to see Deku and wave him inside. Them heading to his office as Deku does go to sit down and express to the man. He hopes it's not too impolite, but he would have liked to meet with all 5 of them. Is this matter urgent? Somewhat. As you know, I've made some deals in the wasteland. And I believe that they are good opportunities for our vault. Yes, I'm well aware. The Gunrunners. They are a major manufacturing company on the surface, correct? They traditionally make ballistic firearms. They don't deal in laser or plasma weaponry. They do, however, also do have a wide selection of artillery. One that I would say even rivals our own manufacturing capability. I see. We don't manufacture guns in a full-time effort. I understand that. But I'm talking about our current capabilities. The Van Graffs are who I'm talking about. We have an opportunity to, if we wanted to, play both sides, along with become a major manufacturing company for either the NCR or a majority of people in the Mojave. It would be a good opportunity for us to build our own currency, build our own cash. This is a get rich quick scheme. Not exactly, sir. Right now, it's a problem of we don't have money to exist in the wasteland. Caps are currency. And before you do bring it up, we can't print more. People would know. And if word got out that that was the case, we'd have a number of targets on our backs. Not just from mercenary companies, but people either looking to shut us down or get in on the operation. Are you certain of this? I've heard stories about counterfeit caps, sir. Mr. Barnett, it is not a good opportunity, nor is it a good idea to give it thought. You'll wind up dead. Are you certain of this? Yes. I see. And your proposal with the Van Graffs. Like I said, we meet with them and we cut them a deal. We're able to create plasma weaponry. Along with that, if we do even get some old fusion cells or microfusion cells or energy banks, or I believe they're EPC or EPW, we'd be able to do quite a lot. Recharge some energy weapons in the wasteland and sell ammunition. We have many of the capabilities. Along with the GEC on the surface. Once we're able to use that to establish a proper settlement, we'll have the capability for solar charging. We already have much for generators with our biofuel. Yes, I'm well aware of this, Mr. Midoriya. Mr. McKinney has been quite enthusiastic in his reports. Then no, it's a good option. I'm willing to take out an expedition and meet with the Gunrunners. Possibly see about opening an operation with them. And if we can, open a dialogue with the Van Graffs. They've been waiting on this deal for some time, and they helped us find Courier 6. They gave me a job and gave me cash. They helped me. And they did it twice. Once was for their own benefit, and once was because I had some strength to back it up. I feel like I owe them a debt, sir. And I wish to pay it, along with the fact that if it wasn't for them, we may not have found Courier 6. I see. I can submit this to the council, and if possible, put it to a bit of a vote. Logistic-wise, it is possible. But if you are to lead an expedition, who would you take? Sir, that is where this does get a bit dicey. I wish to take some members of the mutants. You cannot be serious. I am, sir. However, I would also like to say, before I take them out, I'd like to go on a smaller expedition. Bring them to the surface. Let them explore the local area. Get more comfortable with it. These teams have never seen the sky. They went out to go see it. And I believe it would be a good opportunity for them. It helps, sir. I see. Some of them have been getting antsy. Yes, as well as I like to conduct a combat exam on them. Help them get their aggression out. So you've heard the reports from the Fight Club. I have, sir. I have my suspicions, but I believe I know who it may be. If we do allow them to get their aggression out against someone who can take it, I believe it can do wonders for their mental state. I see. Your first request is going to be a bit drastic. As for your second request, I do believe I can grant authority on that one. And your third request of a larger expedition with them as partners, teammates, that will have to be put up to another vote as well. Now, is there anything else? No, sir, I don't believe there is. But I will bring this matter to all of them. Let them know and see what will be going on moving forward. Good man. You are dismissed. Thank you, Mr. Barnett. Overseer Barnett. Deku going to leave. And he does go to quickly make his way back over to the public sector. It does take him a few minutes, even moving as fast as he does go to move. And when he does get a step into the room, some people are going to turn seeing him. However, there is the therapist, who whenever she does a look up, she does a glance at Deku, her immediately averting her gaze before going to flinch, turning back and looking back up to meet his gaze again. However, Deku's gaze already has begun to sweep around the room. His eyes going to lock on Marcy and Chloe as the two. They do to jump up immediately, aware that something is going on, and Deku is either a part of it or is trying to figure it out. And they do go to start scanning the room themselves. Him sucking in her breath and letting it out. Before Marcy does try to ask if he's alright. I'm fine. I was given permission to skip the session. And I was in a meeting with the Overseer. Miss Sutton, if I could I please discuss matters with them? You may, Mr. Midoriya, but is this something that can wait? I believe that we were just getting some information from Miss Isabel. I believe it would do them some good. I'm sorry, Isabel, but the Overseer Barnett, he's granted me the authority to take all of you to the surface. Are you serious? Some people jumping up. Everybody beginning to stare at Deku. Some do get to jump up. Others are excited. But Deku does get to bring his hands up talking about it. It's not confirmed just yet, but he does also have the granted authority to conduct a combat exercise with them. He does wish to see what some of them can actually do. And he's well aware that the walls feel delicate down here. Someone going to cough. Him glancing at Chloe as he does a glance back at everyone. Though he does also have a third topic. The Overseers may approve an expedition taking them outside of the airfield. It's not confirmed right now, but he does feel it may be confirmed. If all of them do well on their exposure. Right now, Miss Sutton going to write a few things down, asking if Mr. Midoriya is attempting to try and do exposure therapy. I think it would be good for them to get out of the vaults. This place can feel crowded. I don't want to say it feels like a prison, but I've been in prison before underground. It's a little like that. I know I can leave, but still. We're going to the surface. And Miss Sutton, at your own advice, I am proposing a mutant fight club. We can't fight normal people. All of us here know that. I'm particularly concerned about who might have hurt a civilian, who might have hurt a non-mutant. I have my theories, and no, Miss Pickett, I don't want to know, but I think it would be good. You guys want to see the sun? You guys want to go above? We'll do that. You guys want to blow up some steam? We'll do that. You guys want to leave the airport? I'm getting together an expedition, and I want to know who I can get together to watch my back and who I can trust. I'll do that. I know the wasteland. So does Chloe, and so does Marcy. If the Overseers give us approval, I want all of you to understand we are in command. Do you all understand? Them going to give Deku a salute as he does go to nod. And Miss Sutton does express. Well, she will be accompanying them to monitor things. Her turning to her two assistants and informing them to please go ahead and alert medical staff that the therapy session is being moved to the surface. Along with the fact that if she's correct, Mr. Midoriya is posing it be changed to a fighting event? A test of strength. Call it what you will. They need to blow off some steam. I can take a punch. And if things are approved further, we can take them to the Thorn. It's a place designed to fight creatures of the wasteland. You can even fight the thing that I'm spliced with. It's mean, it's big, and it's ugly. And, well, I've fought some of the stuff all of you guys are spliced with. A bit of it doesn't exist in the Mojave. A good bit doesn't. But I'm curious to know what they are like. Now, we're all itching to fight. I'm sure of that. So we'll get going. Right now, them going to start walking past. Marcy and Chloe do both stand there, turning to the doctor, who does go to somewhat let out a bit of a sigh. However, her eyes are lit with curiosity. She wants to see the surface. And right now, this is not only the perfect chance, but excuse she can use to go to the surface. However, Chloe and Marcy do come walking up to him. He does go to talk about it. Bring a hand up to stop them. He wants to talk to them about Tracy. What is it? Tracy, well, what did you do? I didn't do anything. She was flirting with me, and I may have flirted back. Why? She tried teasing. I started to tease back. And I don't know. Just something's going on with my head, and I don't know if it's me, if it's her. I'm not feeling right. Okay. Have you been feeling foggy? Distracted? You two are feeling foggy and distracted? How long has this been going on? A little bit. Why? Have you been feeling the same thing? Huh. Not really. I've been noticing a little bit of it, but not much of it. I'll keep an eye on this. I can ask Tracy too. I can ask some of the others. I've noticed some of them are getting more aggressive. I don't know if it's normal or not. I don't think it is. We'll keep an eye on them. If things do get a little out of control, then we'll have to start using comics. More than likely. But what about your battle? What if things go crazy then? We have doctors. You're right. So maybe I should go ahead and break Tracy's arm. You think that's a good idea? You're talking about how she was flirting with you and you flirted back. 1 out of 10, how bad did it get? She tried to antagonize me and talked about going a few rounds in the ring. Was a little curious what she meant. I see. I am going to break her nose. Her grinning and going to quickly make her way out the door. And whenever Deku does a turn to Marcy, he does get to notice an aggressive glare on her. Her going to look at him and talk about it. She wouldn't mind fighting Miss Stevens. She's fairly certain it would be a good battle. Her going to pat him on the chest a little hard and going to leave. And Deku, he does going to make his way quickly out to the gym, where he does going to find some boxing tape before he's going to head up to the surface where a lot of people are gathering. And right now, there is about 15 minutes later. They all do go to find themselves outside. And they do go to stare up at the sun. It's a very interesting thing. Along with that, there is the fact that the hills over there, they are still being affected by the Gek. Slowly but surely, the Gek will transform everything nearby. Thanks to the rain and the advanced technology of the past, it will do quite a lot to terraform this part of the Mojave. And right now, there is where Deku, he does go to step out of the hangar and of this building. Right now, him going to somewhat talk about it. Bring his hands up and going to stretch before he does go to pull off the top of his vault suit and go to stretch his arms. His undershirt being seen as Deku does go to let the back part of his suit hang off of him, beginning to wrap his hands and going to talk about it. Right. Well, Well, this is the first official time all of them are going to be able to let loose and let out some aggression. He does want to ask all of them, how many of them are feeling aggressive? Some raising their hands. Now, how many of them want to face off against him? Him going to bring his hands up that are wrapped in boxing tape. He'll set out the rules. The first rule is they can fight standard, human to human, or they can fight beast to beast. If one of them pulls out their animalistic side, the other can. There also is the fact he does want to face off in at least a 3v1. He wants to see how well they are in prowess to him. He has more experience practically with his abilities. They don't. He wants to know what they can all do. You really think you can face off against us? Yeah, I don't know if he can. I'm sure we can all take him out. He doesn't seem that big and tough. I'm sure if we all go up against him, we can take him out. But 3 against 1, a little bit more fair. Who should go? I know I definitely want to go. Tracy stepping forwards and going to talk about it. She's heard a lot about this guy. And, well, he's a goddamn legend now. She's also seen him hit in the gym quite a bit. She's curious exactly if any of that's been paying off. I'm quite curious myself. Someone else stepping forwards, going to talk about it. Right now, he wants to see if everything's as they claim. Sure, Victor, we can do that. Anyone else? Or is it just going to be these two? Aiden. Yeah? You as well. The crocodile, the death claw, and the bunny. This should be an interesting fight. You're not going to pick me? We can go another time. Though how many of you actually want to try to fight me? I don't think it's a good idea if you're not committed. That's what I thought. Sherry? I'm quite fine. The woman raising her hands. And Deku does see the animal ears on her head immediately go to shoot back in a bit of alarm. Him looking away from her as her gaze does go to return back to normal. And right now there is her Mercy. She is looking around, trying to read body language, trying to read how they are all carrying themselves. And she is even trying to examine how she herself is feeling. Accelerated heart rate, a burst of adrenaline, and a bit of that brain fog. However, that fog is lifting. Is that just her anxiety calming down? Is it because she doesn't want to be locked in the vault? No, she does feel a bit of that aggression. She wants to fight Tracy. No, she's not the jealous type. Her looking at Chloe, who right now does have a firm gaze locked on Tracy's back. And Deku does go to bring up his hands, him clacking his fists together and talking about it. Well, he's standing right here, and they have an entire airfield to use. So, when they're all comfortable, they can go ahead and come at him. However, he's going to start moving 20 steps backwards. After that, he'll wait for them to charge him. Then they'll begin. Him beginning to turn to walk away. And people are still watching. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.